Hi there. As you can tell, this is a Lego MOC of Better Devils, the gun from Disney 2. It is a hand cannon, a legendary one, and this model is, well, this 3D model in the game is associated with several other weapons like the Steady Hand, Living Memory, probably another True Prophecy. Better Devils is the one that you know it from, though, so I figured I would make a MOC of this, and here it is. I designed and built this myself, ordered the parts from Bricklink, figured I would make a video about it since that is what people do to show off things that they have made in LEGO nowadays. I'll take you through like the structure of it a little later, but first I want to just go over the angles for the people that aren't interested in that. So you can look here. It has a stand. And you'll notice it has a stand on it because it's standing right now. You can hold it with two hands, but the way I designed it in Lego Digital Designer before building it and ordering all the parts and stuff. The way I did that kind of left this particular joint or one particular intersection that is pretty weak. So if you just hold it by the handle, it will fall apart right now. So I don't particularly care about fixing that at the moment because I spent a lot of time putting this together. So anyways, I'll show you different angles. So here's kind of the rough angle you would see in the game. Looking at it, you have this little middle ring piece for the barrel, and that's lined up with the top slot of the cylinder back there. I built in a little sight here, which would normally be holographic in the game, but I figured that would be a nice touch for a physical aspect. The other side, let's see, kind of tiling going on. The approximations of the shaping that I did in Lego. The more advanced building sections is definitely the back here. What I do with the handle to get the kind of angle and try and get this border here right. Here's the guard. It's pretty simple. I can show you underneath too. There's a little bit of shaping to the grip. You have the cylinder, of course. I'll show you. So the cylinder over here is all brick built. You can reload the gun, really, which, you know, might have been more interesting if it were playable, but it's something I designed it anyways. This lift arm is a little bit wobbly, and there's not really a great way to fix that anyways, because this is just a very massful cylinder. You can remove the clip from the gun, and I guess you could have more than one. You can change out the colors of these and put it right back in. Slide it right in there, down the thing. And there you go. Fold it right back in. One other thing you can do is the trigger is on a hinged piece, a ratcheted hinge, so you can sort of move it. It gives you sort of a feedback. You have to put it back, but I like how it works. I thought the grip was going to be too big when I actually saw the parts in person, but it turned out to be pretty nice. I mean, I have pretty large hands, but you fit into it pretty good. Grab on the edge there. I'm not gonna lift it up because then fall over, but you can lift up kind of this way with the stand. It works out pretty well. I'm really happy with the shaping of all this and what I was able to get accomplished with the angled plates here for the kind of shaping on the paneling of the gun. And one nice touch that I'm very proud of is these backs of these 2x2 plates. These are essentially facing studs the opposite way of what the tiles are. So you're seeing the undersides with these little four things. I thought it looked nice and kind of like the vents on the actual gun. So yeah, I can also show you right from the back so you can see kind of the scaling of that. You have the dish piece here holding the cylinder. You can see this kind of sight thing, and there down there is the other sight. I'm pretty happy with the scaling. I wish I had been able to get a bigger disc, but just due to Lego constraints, there's not really a lot I could do. Like, if I had a bigger dish, I would have had to make this whole section bigger, the whole scale of the thing would have had to be bigger. If I had gotten a smaller dish, then the whole scale of the thing would be drastically different. So I'm happy with this scaling, happy how it looks, really happy with the overall build. So now I'm going to take off some of the parts and show you some of the internal structure. Alright, so I took off the side plating and the plates on one side of the handle and the cylinder, of course, so I can show you kind of more of how the structure of this thing is. The main thing here is this long two unit wide Technique assembly. You can see a little part of that here. This just goes all the way down, and there are these 2x2 brackets along the entire length of it that hold these cheese slopes and also grab onto the side plates. So that's how I got that happen. You see there's a big hollow space here. I kind of wanted to not fill the entire thing up so that it would just not be insanely heavy. Didn't really help with the stability of this section, but it could be worse. So there's just plating on top of here. This is just on top of Technic as well. This I'll show you in a second, but you can see this rail. This is the same kind of Technique design as up here. This is just shorter and holding up the bottom, and then I have a couple of middle pieces that are kind of holding the thing together very solidly. Actually, this front section is very solid, which I like. I'll show you. This is one of the side panels too. So the studs on the bottom here is an entirely separate assembly that just interlocks with the plate. The plate's not anything crazy. It's about 3 deep. It has this channel down the middle to represent the kind of separation of the two sections of the gun and game. And that's on both sides. They're a little bit asymmetrical because this side has to have room for the arm here. Oh, and I can show you how this section is built too. So this part is the most ridiculous part. Essentially, I kind of have a hangover here, and then I'm going studs on the side to studs on the bottom. Don't really know why that had to be the case. Oh, I think one reason that I did do it is to give the arm clearance here. So this piece right here is a 2x2 bracket. I don't know if you can see the outlines there, but so it has this half plate thickness right here. So you have plenty of clearance for this arm. And then that attaches to that. The pin that goes through here for the arm is actually kind of inverting it. So studs on the bottom right here, studs on the top right here. So that's how accomplish that. And you can see that's already sagging a little bit. From there, we go to this studs on the side construction here. I have some side knobs holding this 8 in place. This also has the guard piece, which is just very much defined by these 2 big arch pieces. Similar to how the back of this gun is just completely defined by these 2 inverted arch pieces. The rest of this is brick built. It attaches here, just have some cheese slopes for peace of mind. And then it also attaches here hinged to the base. So this whole thing is actually one construction. I just left a channel in here for this Technique arm that attaches here and up here. I did that for stability. Didn't exactly, well, I'll say from here to here is very stable. This part isn't going to come apart. This part isn't as secured. I would like to work on that, but you can see how the angles work. You can see how kind of the thing is constructed. Just have studs on the side here. And these also go 3 plates out. So I think the top of the thing is actually a little wider across than the bottom part. But anyways, I can show you also these plates on here. These are pretty simple. I'm using this 1/4 round tile. A lot of these bow pieces. And then I also have these 2x1, slope pieces, making up the entire back of the thing. One other weird piece of trivia is that this part and this bottom part, the bottom and the top part, are actually half a unit offset from each other, which was intentional. I was trying to kind of imply the curve that's on the real model. Didn't work out super great, but it looks fine to me. The bottom of the grip has a wedge piece in it, a 2x2x3 tall wedge, and there's also the wedge, the side angled wedges you can see in the side there. They kind of give it that shaping. And then I also kind of emulated the border, I guess, of the back of the gun with this piece and the gray plate going up along this red stuff around the back. And then there's also a red piece right here, so I think the lines worked out pretty well there. And it actually is relatively comfortable to hold. Oh, and then also for the cylinder holder, it's kind of a weird little assembly. These parts are really fragile because of how they're attached, which is a double jumper, a 1x3 jumper with 2 studs. I was trying to figure out how I could accomplish the octagonal shape of the cylinder on Better Devils. I just kind of remembered that these existed, and it's really like you don't have a lot of options to kind of try and get these octagonal struts, these 8 struts going along the side, and I wanted you to be able to quote unquote reload it too, so I ended up going with this, which is a little finicky. Fell off right there, but display model. This isn't going to shoot anything, so that's what I went with. Right back here, this is just a jumper and a 6x6 dish. On the back, It's attached to a Technic brick. Let me show you how these two assemblies are constructed next. Alright, so first the tip, you can see the little barrel right there. The tip is actually an interlocking thing with studs on the bottom and the top. So see kind of how that works. It locks right together, and the I can, get it too. And these studs there connect. So you get this nice little clamshell. There is some seams around the outside, but I think it looks pretty respectable. And then you just put the cylinder piece right in there on the two 1x2 brackets to lock it in place, and it's very solid. It just goes right on the top there and locks in place. The bottom one is very similar. It doesn't have any interlocking though. It's just 4 plates tall on the top, and then the remaining with these rounded edges on there. It also has tiling in the bottom. I wanted those to look nice. Oh, and the backwards studs on these tiles. So these are an assembly that locks together to really good effect, I feel like it's very solid when it's locked together. And these just attach to the ceiling. So you have the vents on the side interlocking with the holes in the tiling. So that's how those work. Alright, so that is going to do it for my look at this Better Devils MOC. If you have any questions, I guess leave a comment. I appreciate watching, and yeah, let me know what you thought. If I end up doing another one of these, it'll probably be for Midnight Coup. But do I want to do another one right now? No. Not really. Kind of tired. I'm gonna go to bed now. Thank you for watching this video, and have a nice day.